I'm Real Genetic Demon, and this is What's on the Tape, Season 19, Volume 7. I almost forgot what number I was on for a second there. So, this is the second side of the tape that we had last week, which had some goodies on, some things we'd seen before. Trashman popped up again. He almost always does. Great game, to be honest with you. But we've got the second side of it. It definitely has Spectrum sounds on it. How many? I'm not sure. So I'm hoping we've got a little bit more content than last time round, but we'll see. We'll see whether or not we've got a few more. I actually thought last week was going to be longer, but it turned out not to be. Anyway, it's a boots tape, nice and clear, quite like it. Well, let's hopefully something will load off it. It did last week, so we'll maybe do this week. But I've got some things to show you as well before we carry on. So I've been doing a bit of looking at Capcom games recently, sort of on the 8-bit generation, and on the sort of on things like the Commodore, and now on the Spectrum, because I've been looking for sort of games from Capcom, and this has been sent to me by my lovely friend Daryl. Daryl sent me this and a few other things, which I'm going to show you anyway. But he sent me the Dynasty Warriors, the ZX Spectrum. So I'm looking forward to giving that a blast, actually, to be honest with you. So look at that. And piracy is theft, and there's somebody's printed on the side of that, but that's nice. That's nice. It's good. It's good. But Dynasty Warriors is sort of I think it's a comic book based on a real life event. So it's one of the things we've been playing. We've played it on the arcade challenge this week as well. So if you want to see the arcade version of it, have a little look at it. But I'm going to try and get to play that at some point soon. I just wanted to show you a few other things though, because he sent me a whole load of stuff. He went nuts and sent me loads of things. Let's have a little look. I mean, absolutely tons of things. I'm just going to whiz past them. We've got Play Micro Olympics. We've got Sword Slayer. We've got How's That? We've got just because we've just had it, I think, the Ashes. We've got Handicapped Golf. We have Chuckman, which I think is Pac-Man, isn't it? And what else did he send me? Just as we're pushing these along, he sent me Stormbringer, which is a nighttime part of the Little Magic Night Saga. Shanghai Karate, something I played on the channel before. Zipper Flipper, which I always quite like the name of the sort of thing, and the whole idea is a pinball basically for the Spectrum. It's kind of cool. He also sent me, because of course we're in the middle of the World Cup, the Ladies World Cup that is. We've got World Cup Soccer, World Cup Football. We've got Steve Davis's snooker, as featured on What's on the Tape many a time, and one of the greatest pinball games you'll ever find. This is Sagittarian Pinball Wizard. It's fantastic. It's a really good one because it uses the full screen. But anyway, without further messing around with all these, let's get this into a tape drive. Okay, the tape is in the drive, so we've got out our favourite, which is Basic, and load it. So down to Basic. And load dit. That's cool. Load speech marks. And let's push the button. Fingers crossed it loads something this time round. I think it did last time though, didn't it? I think we got lucky with the very first one last week, and then there was a few hit and misses. It's good though it's proper random, because we like proper random, because we don't. Oh. We didn't like that. Didn't like that sound though. It was very squeaky. Let's try it again. Less squeaky this time round. There we go. Oh, it's squeaking. I'm going to put in the other tape deck. I think the other tape deck's a bit stronger than the one. The one on the... do you know what? The one on the +2, the greys, I don't know if they were always that weak. I suppose over time the elastic bands and things get a bit stretched and things like that. But it's got what I would call extremely weak sort of actual elastic bands. It kind of really sort of... can't pull the thing round, oh, alright, I know exactly what this is then. Let's rewind this. This will need to be load code, right? So this is the key. The key being a program that allowed you to copy programs. So let's just do extended mode code. Let's press the play button. So yeah, so the key was extended. It was a game that allowed you to copy other games, and basically what it would do is you would put the game that you wanted to copy, you'd load the key, which doesn't actually take much to load because it's actually quite small software-wise. So they would argue, by the way, that you were buying it to make backups. That's what they would say that you were buying it for. Weren't using it to copy games as per se. So what you would do is you would load the key. and then it would ask you what game you wanted to load, and then it would load that game into memory. This is the clever bit. So the game wouldn't actually start. It would load into memory, and then you'd be able to save or write out the actual game from the onto the tape. So in the case of this, it's just basically it's a handy bit of kit, realistically. So basically, you'd insert the tape to copy, press a key, start the tape, and then it would load it into memory. So say Manic Miner. You would load Manic Miner into memory. If the game was very large, though, you were a bit stuffed, realistically, because I remember rightly, this is 1983, so this is pre-128K, so at this point in time, you couldn't really load, you couldn't get, if the game was over 48K, or over the size that this fitted into, which I think was only a few K, you were kind of stuffed, that was it. So you'd load the game at this point. I used to stop on the tape. You'd load the game at this point, and then you'd be able to make basically a copy of it. But it would be a perfect copy because your Spectrum would do it, which is kind of cool for the time. I remember first coming across the key, and quite literally, like this, key was a special version of it. So I don't know why I do low code, because we don't know if it's going to be low code. It's going to be loaded it. I think we're going to be loaded it. Anyway, but yeah, I remember coming across the first time around, and it was a special version of the key, which is almost ironic, isn't it, that it was doing that. So what you hopefully get is some perfect copies of stuff. The key H. Right, well, key H could actually be a game. So let's press the break button. Let's do load it. Code, enter. I was right, by the way, I'm doing load code. The key H. Not sure what H is, but we'll see in a second. But yeah, these are the days that to be fair, let's be honest, the 80s and the 80s and 90s, they were pretty rife with copying. You know, you always knew that the version 1H, so this must be like the updated version, but they were pretty rife with sort of the making of special versions of things, lots of them. But of course, this is where the birth of some companies came from. I remember Fairlight from the Amiga days. There's Fairlight and was it Paradox? They all keyless, headerless. Ah, there we go. That's what it means. So you're without a header. So without loading. I don't know. Again, the same difference. Put the key in, press the tape, off we go. In this case, it reboots for no good. Headerless. That gives you more memory space, so it could be loaded now. Ooh, this is clever. This is clever stuff. But I know we need to reset the whole thing now. So this is loading without the header. So you put it in, load the tape. I think it may be still in memory. Anyway, let's reset this. Let's reset the Spectrum properly. Let's go down to basic, and then load it. And we'll find out what else is on here. It's quite good. So we had two things that have loaded there. I can't remember what I was saying, actually. I've kind of lost my train of thought there. I mean, I remember, as I say, it was ironic that it was the key was a copy in its own nature. Jetman. Classic. Lunar Jetman. Hardest, sort of, one of the hardest games you're gonna play, but good. If it'll load. Let's try it again. Let's try it again. See if it'll load. Come on, Jetman. This is a pretty tough game. This is kind of this is the follow-up to Jetpack, I guess. I prefer. I mean, it's not controversial to say. I actually do prefer. I do prefer Jetpack to Jetman. I think that I don't know. There's something about it. I kind of like the game better as Jetpack. I think the arcade style of Jetpack is what I kind of like about it. But to saying that, Lunar Jetman, not bad. Oh, it's not going to load, though. It's not going to load. I think I've got a copy handy, though. Let me see. Lunar Jetman. I must have a couple of copies somewhere. I usually keep... I have a bit of a thing about Ultimate games. I always think they were like the Ultimate game. So I actually have quite a selection of Ultimate games. I can see Lunar Jetman from here. Well, hang on a second, see if I can get down. Right, hang on. Just getting it. Reaching up. Oh, God. It's very tight on the shelf. It's going to be a bugger to get out. Oh, got one. Got the actual copy of it. I'm still looking for. I'll mention it as passing. I'm still looking for the jetpack, the original jetpack, which is the sort of, there's two variants I think of jetpack, and one's got this like kind of light, sort of not naming that it works on 16K and 128K. So there's one of those out there somewhere, probably with my name on it eventually. I've missed a few things that I've wanted recently. I've wanted is it Frightmare, which has got some really beautiful animations in it. I have it on surprisingly I have it on the Vega, but that's the only place I actually have it. So yeah, I've got Frightmare, and I've got that's one of the games I'm looking for at the moment. And it's anything else? No, I think that's the main one I'm looking for at the moment. I'm kind of not really. That's even worse than the last tape we've just done. Let's rewind the other side and see if the other side's any better. This is where Jetman doesn't load at all. To be fair, I don't have multiple copies of Jetman. I only have the one. But it's one of those. It's one of those games. It has the thing called the mole on the front of it, doesn't it? It's like a little mole. It's called a mole. It's like a vehicle. You're meant to take a bomb, I think, to somebody's some base somewhere. I think that's a general gist. I don't know why I'm asking. I'm saying that like I don't know. I can actually read it. She's breaking up with Crash. That's right. Poorly assembled multi-stage rocket and disintegrated. Yes, because he never actually put together his multi-stage erotic properly. Yes, it's erotic. It was a very large rocket. It was erotic. Anyway, so yeah, he's got his multi-stage rocket that hasn't really worked properly. Did that Indian one land on the moon? You know, they launched the Indian one. It was like the third attempt or something similar. And did that actually land on the moon? Did that make it? There we go. It doesn't load on one side. You almost always get a load on the second side of the tape. But yeah, did that one land? I don't know if that one landed or not. We have an elephant in the room though to discuss at the moment, and I'm not talking about a real life elephant because they are very large and hard to control. So just come and try to put the elephant in the room in the first place. Sit, elephant, sit. No, we have to. I watched The Flash the other day, and I don't normally diss things that I really like the Flash comic, by the way, and the one it was based on is something called Flashpoint, and I really like Flashpoint as a comic book series. It's fantastic. Cyborg being the ultimate hero, Kal-El or Superman being locked away from the sun, the Amazons and Atlanteans all fighting each other in a wildness. Bruce Wayne being killed, and his father, Thomas Wayne, becomes Batman, but a more violent version of Batman. And of course, Cyborg is the hero of the whole thing, and Barry has no powers. And that's what it's based on. It's based on that Flashpoint, that whole raft of beautifully canon created of documents. It's like I'm Indiana Jones. You know, I found the documents, or maybe it's Nicolas Cage in National Treasure. But anyway, that's not actually bad. I don't mind National Treasure. It's awful, but it's like Nicolas Cage trying to be Indiana Jones, but he's Nick Cage. Just might as well call every movie the Nick Cage movie. Just have done with it. It's like Con Air. Awesome. Anyway, so back to The Flash. I was so disappointed. They had the graphics, the CGI was that so bad that I felt like I was back in 2000 or 1999, those early days of CGI, where they were sort of smooth surfaces and everything had no texture or whatever else. It was dreadful. Costumes were dreadful as well. I mean, really dreadful. I mean, the only highlights of it, and I'm not to spoil it for anybody, is Michael, and we all know Michael Keaton comes back as Batman, but he should have been Thomas Wayne, not Bruce Wayne. And Zod, the character playing Zod, seeing him back again was kind of cool. Kara-El, or Zor-El, is it? Can't remember which one it is. Seeing that character and sort of taking something from Flashpoint was all right, but I just felt a bit betrayed by it. I want as a comic book reader for a very long time, And by the way, they always give you the same story when you're watching movies. You know, when you don't enjoy it because it's not close enough to the source material of your liking, or the story's pretty poor. It's kind of, you know, it's not the best. You know, it could have been better. There was so much more you could do with some fantastic characters like you did. But you always get the same thing. You know, if you don't like it, they always go, "Oh, but it's made for kids." Some of the comic books I've read in my time, let's put the boys in there, you know, a few of those are definitely not for kids. It's like taking RoboCop and making it a PG. Remember when they did that? RoboCop with some of the most notoriously violent scenes in a sci-fi movie, and they made it a PG to catch the audience. And then they go with the, well, if you don't like it, it's made for kids. But I can tell you now that your kids nowadays, that none of them sticking with them. You know, things like, movies have stuck with me for years and years and years and years. These will not be amongst them. I will. Apart from the fact that Michael Keaton was back in this Flash movie, I'm not going to care. Oh, and the cameo of, sorry, not to spoil it, but the cameo of Nick Cage as the Superman that was going to be the Tim Burton Superman, which, by the way, I think could have been freaking awesome now thinking about this. Nick Cage as Superman in a Tim Burton, it would have been an awesome movie. Can you imagine that? It'd just have been an unreal movie. This tape's going to finish now and not load, you know. There you go. Great stuff. Just what we always needed. Just what the doctor ordered. A bit of non-loading Spectrum game. Nothing like it. That's perfect. Let's try one more time. We'll give it a try. I might actually look it up on. I'll tell you what. I'll look it up on PlayZX. I'm not even going to try and fight with the tape. Let's find it on PlayZX. Now you're not gonna be moved by these movies, and that's the point. I think the title says it all to you, doesn't it? It says that you should be moved by these things. Dreadful movie. Absolutely dreadful. I want to think of some redeeming qualities, because you don't hear me very often complain about things. I almost always have something that, like, well, that's all right, you know, it's not so bad. I mean, to be fair, okay, it is the redeeming quality, but it's probably not the best of ones. The redeeming quality is it's probably not as bad as some of the other ones they've created. That really doesn't make it any better, does it? I'm looking for you, Lunar Jetman. There we go. Found Lunar Jetman. Press the play button on there. Press the play button on there. Lunar Jetman is loading. Yeah, I mean, if that's the only redeeming quality, that's better than they've done previously. I mean, they had to have, what's he called? Zack Snyder come back and recut the entire Justice League and add in a whole bunch of bits and pieces. I have to admit, though, I'll tell you what. Here's what I will say. I will say Guardians of the Galaxy 3, Volume 3, is probably one of the best ones that Marvel's pumped out in a while. I quite like that one. That was actually good. But there's also a caveat that's attached to that. The reason why, I think it's the last one James Gunn's doing. So they basically threw everything they had at it to make it something they wanted to do, which is sort of I kind of agree with. Yeah, best one yet, Guardians of the Galaxy. I can't remember a single other non-Guardians of the Galaxy movie since Endgame. Not at all. I can't remember any. I genuinely can't. I don't even know what they've done with the Marvel universe in between. Isn't that bad? It's the same with the. I think I'm almost as worn out with Superman and women, should I say. I'm almost as worn out with that as I am with the DC universe. It's just, it's just exhausting. I can't keep up with it all, and I know they've got TV series and all that kind of stuff. I just can't keep up. I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed. But last one of that was good. Last Suicide Squad. One with Idris Elba in it and the guy, the wrestler. That was actually good because that was more comic booky than I've ever seen before from them. The characteristics and the characters were very much the comic book. Kind of agree with that one again. That was another good one. So there's been a few We're on a DC. We're a bit of Marvel, a bit DC. But problem is, it's like they're like lukewarm, aren't they? They kind of what we're doing now is we're doing drivel, and then occasionally we have a little a spike of it's no longer drivel. It's really hard to watch movies nowadays, I'll be honest. And I see that the Oppenheimer is open to glorious reviews. Not seen it yet. And Barbie, of course, which we're all rooting for and we're looking for. I quite like the fact, though, that one of my favourite facts about the Barbie movie, or the most ridiculous things, is that is it Mattel, I think, who owns it, or is it Hasbro? Is it Mattel? I think it's Mattel. Anyway, whoever it is, one of those two companies. The chap who's the CEO had himself cast as Will Ferrell. I kind of like that. You've got to have big balls to have yourself cast as Will Ferrell. I think that's kind of a nice thing. I might have gone with Brad Pitt or something like that. You know, yourself Brad Pitt or I imagine you can't be cast as anybody at the moment. They're all on strike. Oh, the plight of actors. I completely understand the whole AI thing. Well, we're not going to it because we did it last week. If you want to hear about it, listen to me last week going on and on and on and on and on and on like I usually do about AI and what it's involved in. So anyway, oh dear, coffee. Oh, it's good coffee. Coffee's good. I love coffee. Right. I'm going to look at the controls now. We're going to go back to some Spectrum stuff. Some specky stuff for a change. A bit of specky stuff. I see, though. Oh, have you seen the other little thing that's turned up? I don't know if it's said this last week, but the new Evercade games have been put on for release. They've now done the Delphine collection, which is Flashback and Another World and a couple of other ones that I can't remember what they are. And then there's is it Acro Software? They did a whole load of things. So that's all out for the Evercade shortly. Well, the next month, in fact. Is it next month or the month after? One or two. It's all ready for release. So the controls, he says, are NM, left and right. Fire is anything in the second row. Thrust is anything in the top row. And then pickup is Z or symbol shift. And cap shift is to enter or get out of things. Right. Okay. Let's give it a go. I can't remember what we're meant to be doing. I'm not even going to try and work it out. 6 to start the game. So yeah, I've got a truck. And we can drive this thing. And now what we've got meant to do is put the... Aren't we meant to pick this up? Oh, God. Oh, bums. Right. Go. Right, you're not killed when you're in this. Oh, and you got to put down rampy things. I remember this. Rampy things. That was so descriptive, wasn't it? I can't remember how we do it. There's a button to put down ramps. I think they're 1 to 2 or something like that on the top of this. No! A game with a 30-second lifespan. Yeah, it's got lovely big round wheels, but it can't cross over anything. Nothing at all. I've just got out and got killed. Blummin' hate this game. I've 20 minutes to load a game that I absolutely hate. I don't hate it. I just think it's quite hard. Look at the names of the things in there. ACG is Ashby Computer Graphics, I think it is, isn't it? Ultimate Play the Game. Lunar Jetman. We've got ICL, which is a company at the time, and IBM. That's kind of cool. Right. 6. No. Just change the controls. 3, 6. Oh no, no, have I ruined it? No! I stuffed it. I can't remember how to bloody drop the platformy things though. Oh no. You've got to like build little rafts on the ground. I can't remember how you do it. That's it. Yeah, you got to press the Z key and it puts it down. Oh no. Oh, I hate that game. Right, let's move on because I absolutely hate that game. Let's see what else we got on this tape. We're barely into it. We've already been through at least one game. One game. I don't know. Anybody else a fan of Lunar Jetman? I didn't like it as a follow up. I preferred Sty Bike, which is not them. Which is it was what's it called? It was Edge instead. Starback was one of my favourites. In fact, it's such a trophy for me. I bought a copy off eBay. You know when you buy something off eBay and then somebody doesn't do the thing you want them to do, which is basically send it. There was a weird noise there. It was like, oh. It sounded like my dog greeting me when I come home. My daughter's taught the dog how to speak. And when we come home, it goes, oh, oh. Quite clever, actually, to be honest with you, teaching the dog how to speak. She just kind of shouts at it and says, speak! Say hello! That's weird. I keep hearing noises. It's like ghosts from the past. I suppose these games are ghosts from the past, aren't they? We do get these occasionally. Somebody put in the comments when I was posted this about the picture of this, that you know, it'll be the top 40 from whatever else is. It has been the top 40 in the past, but now I sort of check, and then hopefully we have a little bit at the end, you know, with the previous owner speaking away. I wonder if any of the previous owners have ever seen any of these and sort of gone, oh, that's my voice. Nobody's actually done that. They put it on eBay, so it's fair game. There's somebody collecting videos, wasn't there, recently? Just videotapes. I can't remember what it was. It was so important that it made the national news. Why is that important? I mean, oh. That sounds... Oh, God, that tape sounds dreadful. Oh, God, that sounds horrible. Oh, it sounds like it's eating the tape. The tape deck's eating it. I think that's the end of it anyway, so we're on to a new one, hopefully, because that boob seems to be... They seem to have put a boob... Who puts boobs in it? It's got boobs on it. Do us a favour and load that. Oh. Oh, it's making horrible noises. What's the tape look like? Oh my God, it's mashed. It's like properly like it's come out and been fed back in again. You know, when your tape got crushed and all this kind of stuff, and then when you listen to Africa by Toto, it's terrible. Oh, Attic Attack. There we go. Oh, do you know something? I'm not surprised that any of these are not working. You should see the state of this tape. In fact, I don't know if I can get a picture of that, but I will try. I'm going to try. I'm going to put not a picture on the screen. I'll put it on the. I'll put a link on the community page for it. You know of whatever else it is. Can I get a picture of that? Can I get the flash on? I'm going to put the flash on and I'm going to take a picture for you because that is dreadful. It really is. Let's. No, that's not the one we want. Pushing buttons here. I shouldn't be pushing buttons. Just take a picture of that. Does that look dreadful for you? Is that dreadful enough? I might even put it up today. Oh, you can see it's proper mashed. Yeah. On the look at the community thing, there'll be a link in the description. Oh my God, it's bent and everything. Oh, I'm zooming in on it. Stop zooming. Stop zooming. It's not looking good. It's not looking good for anything loaded. I'm surprised anything loaded last week. I'll be honest. Utterly amazed. Let's try it again though. Let's give this another go. If not, we're gonna have to get Attic Attack on another way. If this loads, I'll be surprised. Utterly amazed. It's probably that when I'm popping that tape out, that looks like a dog's dinner. It's like a dog that didn't like its dinner and threw its dinner up repeatedly. Right, we're gonna have to find it on PlayZX because there's no way we're loading that one. Unless I think I've got a copy on the top of here. Hang on. I think I've got a copy, Andy. I've got my Ultimate section open, you see, because I already got one out for Lunar Jetman. We already got one off for that. Hang on. Ooh, I remember this though. When I got this, I bought this, and it was $5.95. I remember that. It's $5.95. I bought it for $5.95, and I was delighted with it as a kid. I was so this is my game. But of course, it was also part of the I think I told you before. You know, I got like 2 hours to play my Spectrum back in the day. It was because we only had the one telly in the house. So basically, we had to share the television. You know, back in the day when we used to watch telly together as a family, you used to watch things like, I guess, Noel's House Party and other things, didn't we? Or Saturday afternoon telly, you know, with the Fall Guy and the A-Team and all this kind of stuff. That's the kind of thing we all used to kind of watch together, didn't we? But but I only had specific times that I was allowed to play on the Spectrum, so I had kind of like an hour, 2 hour block. And I bought this one at the weekend, and I had to wait a couple of days because it was like weekend or something similar, and we weren't allowed to play it on the weekend. You know, I'm gonna go outside and play. So it was kind of this is one of those games that I really loved. I love the way it's going really fast on the screen. That's because the Azimuth, the Tolkien-esque. Oh my God, you can't do that to me. You can't do that to me. Do you know what I've just done? I've rewound the bad side of the tape. I should have rewound the good side of the tape. The Tolkien-esque heads, which you can alter slightly in your magnetic heads so that you can read the tape, have been sort of slightly adjusted. They need slightly adjusted to make sure it loads. But yeah, Attic Attack. I can't remember what the story behind it is really. I remember the features, the castle. We've been caught in there, monsters, all kinds of stuff. The worst set of keys in the world. Q, W, R, E, R, T, and Z. Why? They're not even logical for your fingers, you know. So anybody who could actually beat this game, I've got massive sort of respect for, because it's those keys are just horrendous. They really are. Problem with this game. Problem, he says. It's not a problem. This was a Spectrum classic. This is a game that was made on the Specky, for the Specky almost exclusively. Since then, it's been remade on the Amstrad CPC and also remade on the Commodore 64. And I hate to say it, they're now comparable to the beautiful Spectrum, the magnificence of the Specky. They're now comparable to those, unfortunately. The Amstrad CPC showing off all its colours and sort of bright blocks with the whole thing, and the Commodore 64 not so. It's a nice dull pastel palette that it's got. Sorry, I'm sorry, your Commodore users, because I know you watch. But it's you know, shh. Don't tell the Specky users I said that, right? Anyway, but those pastel sort of those sort of, you know, pastel shades and the extended rooms and whatever else is, I feel as a Spectrum user and an owner of Attic Attack, I feel it's an attack on my heritage. However, I'll be honest, they are beautiful. They are worth looking at. Both of them feature on the channel. If you want to have a little look for them, search for Attic Attack in the search button up there. But if you have a little search, you'll find the Amstrad CPC version and you'll find the Commodore 64 version, both of which beautiful. Like the Spectrum version, of course, you know, like the thing they were trying to compete with eventually, you know, competing with the Spectrum users all the way along. Well, possibly with the exception of the Amstrad, because of course Mr. Sugar was selling the Spectrum by the end. Very odd, very odd. I never had one of those ones though until later in life. I mean, I bought them later in life. The full package, the ones with the integrated sort of cassette players, like his
2-foot-long monster of the Amstrad CPC 464 and the 664, which of course is the version with the disc in it. I had to remember for a second there because I was trying to think about the 472, which he also did for Spain exclusively because there was a tax on 64K. So if you had more than 64K, in this case 8 more K, 72K, you could avoid the tax on the computers. So 64K machines were taxed in Spain because of I don't know what reason. But this is the best part, my favourite part about this. I really want one, actually. I really want one because the history involved in it's really brilliant. The reason why, the best part about it is they actually did have extra 8K. It was attached to nothing. It was literally soldered to the board and not linked to the board in any way. But it had added up to 72K if you could access it, which you couldn't because it was just soldered to the board. Genius. Absolute genius. Avoiding the tax on it by literally soldering another 8K to the board. That's the way to do it, isn't it? That ain't working. That's the way you do it. Yeah, play your guitar on the MTV. I love my MTV. That was so out of tune. I do apologise. I've just destroyed Dire Straits, one of Dire Straits' greatest songs there with the with my terrible rendition. Go to hell now. Oh dear. Right. I'm sorry, I can't help it. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Coffee's good, by the way. I've had some coffee. I'm drinking a coffee. To be fair, I like to think of this coffee a bit like, was it Trigger's broom that he had from the day he started working for the council 25 years ago. I mean, obviously, clearly it had a new shaft and a new head occasionally, but it was still the same broom that he had originally. I'm on the same cup of coffee. I was literally drinking out this cup this morning. I'm still drinking out of it today. Anyway, right, okay, here we go. The adventure awaits. I love this because of the way the graphics look. They're just fantastic. They really do. So we've got to find the ACG key. We got some blue keys on the way, and I've chosen the night. You could choose different people, but different people can go different ways through the building. Let's see if we can find. I got food as well. I'm gonna go this. Oh, I'm gonna go that way. No, it can't go that way. Doors open and shut to try and keep you under control. Oh, the knights can go through. No, not that. What can it go through? I can't remember what it goes through. I thought it was. Oh, I know what it is. It's grandfather clocks. They can go through them. The secret ways through. I don't think it tells you that in the instruction manual. I might be wrong if it does. But I like the way our heart health is chicken. There's nothing like a bit of chicken. We love chicken. So you can go through this. Oh, I've just fell down into the basement. Not quite the basement. The surf can go through the 1884s. All right. Well, I don't really want that, but I do want that. That's it. Key to pick it up. Can go through green doors now, so we can open green doors. Oh. Hello, mummy. Hello, mummy. It's not really it's not that kind of mummy. There we go. We go back down again. Love this game. The graphics are phenomenal. The use of colour on the Spectrum, when used properly and with passion, it can actually make it makes. I mean, it's a beautiful machine, really. I mean, it really is. When used properly, it was a beautiful little computer. I haven't got one of them, but that's some food. Keep me going for a bit longer. I used to be able to complete this in under 9 minutes. I have not been able to do it since. The best time to do it is to finish it when you first load it, because the layout and where the position of the key, parts of the key to exit the building are change. So finishing it first time round on the first go is the optimal way to beat Attic Attack, because the things are in the same set locations that we can all get to. And I'm just running around like in madness here. These are like special things to keep creatures away. You can pick them up as you go along. So, for instance, the cross keeps Dracula away when you find him in the building. I'm not sure what the money keeps away, to be honest. I can't remember who that's for. If you remember, put it in the comments below, please. I can't remember. But, oh, sugar, I didn't mean to fall down that. Absolute classic, though. Stonker of a game, this one. And the yellow key. You're so tempting me with a... There we go, down to the basement. See if we can find something in the basement. There's the devil. The devil! He's kept away by something else. Health. The interesting thing is that if you do map this game, which is worth doing, I do recommend that, there's Dracula, that certain things on the levels, certain things about the top level are different. There's like one conjoining room that basically joins to about 4 different rooms round it. So it's a really kind of a weird sort of look for what it is. You notice, by the way, I just continually shoot because there's just no point in not continually shooting. We're in a basement now. It's a classic. It's an absolute classic. Well worth playing. Oh, Frankenstein does not can be killed by the screwdriver, because obviously the spanner. So you can take the bolts out of his neck. I'm guessing is what happens with that. Plenty of health. You can stay there. I'm shooting continually. This was remade for the PC. Not particularly well, in my opinion. It's on also one that will feature on my channel. You'll see it if you go looking. You'll find it on there. I don't think particularly well designed on the PC. I mean, somebody made an effort, I'll be honest, but it was a homebrew thing. What they should have done is basically just translated this and upgraded the graphics, as they've done for the Amstrad and the Commodore 64. There's a bottle of grog. I'm not sure what the grog does or who it stops, but I have not found a single bit of key yet, which is really annoying. Plus frustrating. We are going this way. Harsh. 4 minutes in. Come on, keys. Where are you? They must be on the upper floors. I think they are. That's going to be me if I don't look after myself. I'm going to be that skeleton on the wall. There we go. Get some more custard in me, because I'm always full of custard. Oh, I think that coin is for the devil. Funnily enough, sort of a religious reference to what's it called, Judas, isn't it? I'll go this way. See if we can get out. Got 3 keys. There's the spanner we can kill him with. I think this room's sealed off. Of course it is. I'm now completely lost. 5 minutes into it. Yep. It's going well. Let's see if we can get upstairs here now. Yeah, it's a cracking little game, really. I mean, there we go, upstairs. Brilliant. 2 flights, in fact. There we go. Excellent. Health is keep him health nice and high. Of course, those things also scoot through to different locations. ACG this way. That's the thing to stop the horrible creature. Can't remember what that's for. It looks very whippy. See if we can get upstairs now. I'm completely fascinated by the game. I'm gonna move on because otherwise we'll never get through this tape. It's gonna take ages. But yeah, definitely worth playing is Old Attic Attack. I think on the scale of things, one of the better sort of games. I still struggle when they went isometric with them. I know what they were thinking. I know what they were doing, but I still struggle with that sort of. When they changed the styling of it, it kind of I don't know, they weren't quite as good for me at that point. Let's see if this tape gets any better as we fast forward through. This will still be Attic Attack. Couple of classics there though, couple of classics, absolute classics. I think they're probably one of the highest copied games. That and Jet Set Willy, Manic Miner. Surprise, Chucky Eggs. We had a lot of those. Way of the Exploding Fist. That must have been one of the most copied. It almost always crops up on a season of what's on the tape. Almost always. But why not? It's a beautiful game. One of the greatest beat 'em ups you'll ever play. Still hold with that. Let's see if there's a boop here, because somebody's putting boop. Nope. Let's see. Bites one. No, that's near the end. It's near the end. Bit of bites. Getting a good bite. A few bites as it finishes off. I'll let it bite for a bit while I drink some coffee. So how's your week been? Have you had a good week? Have you been busy? Have you had lots on? I've had another busy week. Been to my chiropractor and she spent ages unlocking my shoulders, which clearly were dreadfully locked. So yeah, one of those things. But to be fair, I hadn't noticed. I did notice some odd pains, but it's fully released now. I'm back to normal. Keep having to have this done though. Trying to get it to the point where I'm only having it done every 6 months or something similar. But at the moment, still very much a thing for me, unfortunately. So yeah, we're still getting the back moved around after all of that damage from last year. Anyway, Hunchback arcade game based on an arcade game of the same name. Century Electronics and Ocean decided that instead of making it one game, they would make it two. So Hunchback, in the arcade version of it, you basically bounce along the wall, and then you get to this section where you have to sort of collect the bells to make your way up finally to rescue Esmeralda. That part where you collect the bells and make your way to Esmeralda is not in Hunchback, the first one, because, as I say, they decided that they would double their money by creating two separate games out of it. I can never remember the blooming keys for this though, so wait for it. We're gonna do the old I don't remember the keys first off, and then we're gonna struggle. So what I might do is, while we're loading, I might just Google the old keyboard controls. Let's Google the old keyboard controls. Do you know what? I like the box best. I think the cartoon on the front by old Bob Wakeland is absolutely phenomenal. I really do. I think the art on that and the 1 and 2, and he did the adventures as well, are just fantastic. So I think I wanted it because of that. I didn't really want it because of any other reason, and not to say the reason not to have Hunchback, but I think that the Hunchback was just for me was fantastic, and I really wanted those particular things. QW and symbol shift to jump. Right. Okay. That's interesting. Yeah, QW and symbol shift. Yeah, we can do that. All right. Okay. Yeah. So I don't know. I just wanted it for the cover, and when we came to the gameplay, I always thought it was a bit stunted. I have played the arcade version though, just for fun. I've never actually recorded it for the channel, but I've played it for fun. I quite like it. I quite like the arcade version. It's straightforward, but I think it plays really well. So I don't know. There's something to be said for Hunchback. It's pretty much a classic. It's the one that we see regularly on What's on the Tape. It's one that was clearly made additional backup copies of a lot. So it's because of that. It's I guess it's worth playing. I don't know what the best version was though. Was the Spectrum version a good version? Was the Commodore 64? I played the Commodore 64 version. Was it a good version? It wasn't bad actually. It's fairly accurate to the arcade actually. The Commodore 64 version from memory. Don't know what the Amstrad CPC version's like. I can't remember. If I have played it on the channel, it'll be there on the list of games that I've actually played. But no, I don't dislike it. I've grown to sort of don't mind Hunchback. I think it's because I got better at it. I used to be really rubbish at it, and I've got sort of significantly better at playing Hunchback, the original, the very first one, rather than the full version that you get with the arcade. So I kind of got a little bit better at that. So I kind of like it. Yeah, it's good. Oh, it's good. Oh, it's a nice drink. Oh, drinky. Lovely. Anyway, okay. Stop. Any key. And press any key. 1 for keyboard. So you just have to get to the bell while jumping over the meatballs and avoiding the guard that's going to come behind us. Oh, he got me! Bums. Do you want to jump 3 meatballs before we get there? They're not meatballs, they're like fireballs, but for some reason they are green. Or, magenta. I think they'd be yellow at least, wouldn't you? Doo-doo. There we go, 200. Then you get points basically for doing that. Then you got to get to this next one, and it's like screen by screen. On the... Doodle-doo. Yeah, he jumps too far. There is a way to do this. I think you just run over and jump to it, to be honest. Doo-doo. Yeah. Let's press K. Let's press 1 for keyboard. Let's go for it. We're going to do better this time round, promise. Say, the simplistic nature of it, I guess I kind of don't mind it, after all. Doo-doo. I'm rather enjoying the music. I fell off the edge because it's got the worst step in history there, look. Don't step too close to the wall. No, I was on that. You got to give me a break, eh? Do 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 do. Right, okay. There we go, and then we swing across here, and no, gotta wait till it bounces perfectly, and then I've got to jump. Ah, silly game. Right, do 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 do. Meatball, meatball. Meatballs on fire. Great balls of fire. I don't know that song very well, so I'm not going to sing it. I'm not going to ruin that one as well. Great balls of fire. Played on the Top Gun. Do you know something? I'm in the mood. I'm going to watch Maverick again this weekend. I think it's a long movie, but it's worth it. I think it's worth the watch. Oh, do. That's rubbish, that. I can't believe I fell off that. I reckon I can jump to this. I'm on. No, get stuffed. Honestly, I almost had my heels on there. I could see he's got his little hunchback heels right on that. I'm not playing anymore. Boo. Go away. No, I've had enough. You know when I said I got quite good at it? I'm not good at it anymore. I'm rubbish. It's been ages since I've played Hunchback. Right, on we go. See what else is on here. We are very free. We've got a lot of tape to do, you know. We've got a lot of tape. Brace yourselves. Harrier Attack. Is it all the greatest hits today? Is that what it is? It's all the greatest hits. Harrier Attack features regularly Jarrell. It's about flying a Harrier jump jet through combat-strewn sort of shoot 'em up madness. It's good. It's good. It's silly, but it's good. I've never actually finished it. You've got to fly from one end to the other and land back on the boat at the other side of the island. It's shooty is the answer, I think. It's a shooter. It's a little bit of a shooty shooter. Harrier attack. There they are. Of course, the Harrier being capable of what's it called? It's a VTOL, isn't it? Vertical takeoff and landing. The vertical takeoff. Yeah, take off and landing. I think the L's landing or something like that. That's VTOL, isn't it? That's what it's called. So M.A. Richardson, is he responsible for Turbo Esprit? Because if he is, he's responsible for some of the games that are now currently the greatest. You know, the Grand Theft Autos of the world and things like that. He's responsible for those billion-pound games because a lot of them duplicated the sort of cloned their ideas that were in those. Yeah, there we go. We're in. Right, Squirrel level 1. Squirrel level 1. I'm on Squirrel level 1. Behave yourselves. Squirrel level 1. Bombs and missiles. We can speed up, so let's speed up. I have bombs and I have rockets. We are going faster. Watch out below. I am a machine. Today I am a machine. And I got a boat. And I missed that one, but I got a boat. Is there incoming? Yes, I got a plane. I have a plane. I have a plane. I got another plane. I am a man possessed. Oh, I got killed. Oh, that's your score, by the way. You only get one go. It's even worse. You get literally one go. That was cool. I could do well okay there. Did well okay. Oh my god. I can't speak today. It's clearly impossible. A man cannot speak. I wonder if he can torpedo a boat. I wonder if I can shoot it with a missile. I'm just wondering. Yes, you can, and then you can die by crashing into it like an idiot. That is cool. I like it. This is the kind of game though you play with your friends. You basically take turns playing it, see how far you can get. It's pretty good as a shooter. It's not the greatest game in the world, but it was a shooter that I liked because of the fact it was one life. I think I liked the idea of the Harrier jump jets because they were very cool back in the day. Very, very cool. I remember seeing a photograph because the Americans have the design for the Harrier jump jets, so they actually have the same thing, same technology. And I remember seeing two of them being refueled by a sort of refueling plane, obviously, and it was just the most phenomenal sort of image that I've actually seen. It's sort of really cool. There was a guy, literally they could hover. They were literally hovering, waiting to be refueled. It's just one of the most interesting sort of. It just looks good. Oh, I managed to get a tank there. Oh, bums. Yeah, it's pretty good though, isn't it? It's pretty good. It's not bad. Let's get my name in. Have a little whirl on that one. That was quite good. I think the tape, by the way, is ready to go with another load. I'm looking forward to this. Let's see what we've got on here. It's pretty good. Pretty good. I say, I always quite like the Harrier jump jet. I always thought it was an impressive looking plane and a very clever idea. I get treated to planes going through where I work now. Oh, Harrier again. We don't need Harrier twice, so I'm going to press the brake key, and we're going to do new, and then we're going to do load it, and we'll fast forward that a little bit. But I get treated to sort of planes going across on a regular basis, and the other day we had Typhoons. And we had F-35s flying through the valley. Topped off by the most beautiful thing you've ever seen. A osprey, an actual osprey, not the osprey as in the helicopter type thing. No, an osprey as in the bird of prey. Were then used after they'd all gone. Popped up and decided that it was going to go hunting, so we watched it hunting, and they're magnificent birds if you've ever actually watched them. They're beautiful things. People could come from miles around to go and sort of see these things. And I get treated to it on an almost daily basis. This bird sort of hovering in the fields round about. It's quite amazing, realistically. Beautiful, beautiful bird. Magnificent, maybe the word to use. That sounds quiet. Are we quiet? We can't be quiet. We can't be that quick, can it? Are we all done? Are we all finished? We can't be finished. I think we are. No top 40. No people talking. Nothing actually happening. It's just gentle silence. Gentle silence of the tape. We've had a session where we've loaded a few. We've had Lunar Jetman, Attic Attack. We've had the Key. We've had our sort of Harrier jump jet there. 2 of them. And now we have the sound of silence. But I'm not done. And neither are you. You stay there. I want to play one more game. Only because I've got onto this shelf up here with the Ultimate Games on it, so I'm going to play one more. And it's a classic. I've just reached up and I've grabbed it. And it's an absolute classic. Are you ready for this? When you see its name pop up on the screen, you'll know exactly what I've chosen. Absolute classic. It's a stormer. One of the greatest Spectrum games ever, from my point of view. Or certainly, we'll let it load first before we'll let the name pop on the screen first before we do it. Here we go. Jetpack, one of the greatest little shoot 'em ups on Specky. I know they did a reversion, didn't they? They did a DX version where they made the platforms move around. I kind of get that. I like that idea that they've changed it slightly and they've kind of upgraded it. But this is the daddy. This is the baby. This is the one. I know. Funnily enough, this actually was out on various other machines as well. It didn't just stay on the Spectrum. It made its way to a number of other systems as well, including the Commodore and the BBC. There's a version for the BBC. Bazza H, who we've not seen on YouTube for over a year or so now. Bazza seems to be on a personal mission, life mission. Last time I sort of said for it. But yeah, Bazza H is I think he played the Jetpack originally on his channel years ago, and it will be years ago now. But anyway, yes, Jetpack, one of my personal favourites. I remember enjoying this a great deal as a kid. Spent a lot of time playing it. I mean, and why wouldn't you? It's a great idea. This is the follow-on for sort of Lunar Jetman followed on from this to play this game. Graphics look great. That picture loading screen is phenomenal. The actual gameplay is just so playable. And funnily enough, it's weird though, isn't it? Considering Ultimate Play the game, they changed the keyboard to be more, I think, friendly in this time round. It's QA and NM for left and right, rather than that whole across the centre of the keyboard thing that they did for Attic Attack and for Underworld. Underworld's exactly the same. It's horrendous. Underworld's by the way, one of the greatest boxes and covers in the world, with its demon on the top of a mountain, and no relation to me, of course. But on top of the mountain, I'm more likely to be one of his little minions underneath, because I'm the generic one. But demon on top of the mountain, sort of. It's just it's glorious. Those boxes that they did for them were just glorious. They were just special in every way. I absolutely love them. And as I say, what I often say about this, and I said during this, is that of course they don't make them anymore. So these people who are kind of going, bin the ones that are rubbish. You're getting rid of history. It's never going to be there again. Don't bin it. Look after it. Do something with it. Repair it. Manage it. Do something. I saw there's a few repos knocking around actually recently. Somebody got a repo of some rarer Codemasters games, and I'm not sure that it was quite what we think it was, but it was definitely a reproduction. I'm not sure that somebody's flooding the market now with reproduction Spectrum games. I don't think there's enough money in it to be doing that. Pushed the wrong blooming key. Right, so little Jetman's crashed his ship, surprisingly again, and he basically needs to put the thing back together again, which we do by picking these bits up here. And then once we do that, out of the orbit starts floating down more fuel that we have to fill up our vehicle with. It's just very good timing that it sort of appears like it does. And then we spend all our time hiding up here, trying to avoid getting killed by the meatballs. You know, it's the meatball theme, they're mommy meatballs. Space meatballs. Flying through space, and space beans, and the green ones as well, because they don't have baked beans in space, because that would be a bad thing, because you're locked in a spacesuit with your own, yes, exactly. Lovely. You can probably cut through that if somebody does that in a spacesuit. Right, okay, almost there. So we drop all of these over there. They, by the way, they automatically drop as you plonk them over the top. And then we fill it up until... And it just repeats, by the way. It's just a great shoot 'em up. It's just a shoot 'em up. That's all we're doing. Shooting up everything. That sounded wrong. No, it's a shoot 'em up, not shooting up. And then we land in the rocket. Try not to get yourself killed in the process. You get in the rocket, and it goes... I remember playing this. I was like, oh my god, it's the best game ever! When I played this as a kid, I mean, I thought Hungry Horace was good, but I got this, and I was like, I can't even remember how much it cost, though, which means I was much younger when I got this one. When I was a bit older when I got the other games that I remember the pricing of. This one I don't remember the pricing of. So anyway, we got the fuzzies. Little fuzzies now, the fuzzy wuzzies. We've got to kill these fuzzy things. They're fuzzy creatures that require destroying. It's nothing better than to come to another alien planet and destroy the indigenous lifespan, species, life forms. Nothing like it. Perfectly reasonable. For a minute there, I thought I wasn't going to drop another fuel. There we go, fuel. Classic game. Fantastic. Much more fun because it's just simple. The concept is simple. The idea is simple. Put the ship together, fill it with fuel, land, get in it when it's going flashing, and then launch into space. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Bums. I'm rubbish today. Walked straight into it with the final fuel. That's U1, there's U2, U3, and 4, I think. U2. Okay. I can't believe how bad I am today, actually. I'm usually better than this at this game. 16k game, this, actually. It's even more. I always think that's of a more impressive when you got a 16k game. I think when you get something good out of 16k, I think you've done really nicely. There we go. Plonk like that. Oh, that was so close. I thought I was dead there. Okay, where's the next one? There it is. Fly on over. Everybody kind of ends up on... Oh my god, how did I not kill him? Oh no, oh no, oh no. I don't know how I didn't kill that one. Uh-oh, come on. Quick, quick, quick. Yes. I must have just earned a new life, actually, because I thought I was dead there for a minute there. I thought that was it. I thought we're all over. Anybody got a favourite sort of single screen shooters? Tell you what else is good. Moon Buggy. Is it Moon Buggy? Yes, I think it's Moon Buggy by Vision. That one quite good. I like that one. Oh, I like these ones because they home in on you. These little spaceships they sort of home in my direction. That's what they do. They're sort of heat-seeking sort of plane ship thingies. Okay, where's the fuel? There it is. That took about 3 million years too long to appear after it put it in there. Come on, planes. Yes. And they always home in on you to try and get you. Quite a fun level, this one. Because they do that weird bouncy dance thing when they sort of see you. And they self-destruct as well and they hit surfaces, which is hilarious. I think they're the only ones that do it as well. It kind of, once they launch, they kind of seem to be in a rush to get to you. Absolute rush. And this is why, by the way, playing on the Spectrum is fantastic, because you can get kind of lost in the delight that it is. Brilliant. And we're crashing at the ground still diving at the spot I was previously at, trying to kill me. Here we go. So now we get our sort of Discovery style shuttle or Atlantis. Which one was the one that crashed? Which one was exploded? There was one that was exploded. It was horrible. I remember watching that. I'm treated to some terrible things over the time as a kid. One of which is that exploding. Because we used to watch it on the telly. We used to quite often watch them landing. You know, sort of these reusable shuttles and things like that for the first time. Because it was big and it was important. And of course we all watched telly together, didn't we? Do you remember that what I was saying before about watching telly together? That's what we did. So... Oh, God. I've got cramp in my leg. I've got to die soon. Don't keep winning. I've got cramp. Oh no, cramp. Too old. You know what I was saying about my back? There we go. There's an example of something that I didn't have before. My back was so bad. Cramp. Game over. That was good timing because my cramp was getting just getting on top of me. Anyway, I've been your host, Real Jedi Doer. Thank you for watching. Please feel free to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye now.